Do you think the time has really come for CAF not to talk about these things behind the scenes, but implement?
Athlone Stadium. What will stop Athlone Stadium?
What will stop Athlone from hosting?
Yeah, I mean, and this is not like
the facilities there are much better than in other countries.
Elsewhere,
government doesn't pump in a lot of money, but in other countries, government will pump in money, and then you are saying government must not ask how this money has been used.
Jambo Africa.
Well, so
yeah,
we're back. But ngiyabona ukuthi hayi man, uma timer. Are you fresh?
I'm trying. I'm feeling end of year fatigue a little bit, Nyana, but we have to keep on going. As we always say, we report a lot on athletes. We can't always be the ones who are blaming the athletes for not showing up from time to time. We must also show up. We must do this, and we are not stopping. We are going. We'll end after the World Cup. From now up until the World Cup, we're moving. Nothing is going to stop us.
AFCON, World Cup.
Yeah.
Hey.
There's a lot coming over the next few months.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
We're hoping that African people can be there. We need those sponsors. We need those partners.
Yeah, tell them in the camera there.
Please.
We need a sponsor, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But it's been a very interesting week. I attended the CAF Champions League and CAF Confed Cup draw earlier this week. Also, the legends were there. Alexander Song was there. Christopher Kadongo as well. Top officials from CAF. I must say, not having parades there.
Yeah, it's a real pity, but they only have themselves to blame. They should have been there. As we said last week that not being part of the group stages onwards in this year is seriously going to hurt their ambitions of trying to get to the World Cup. The Club World Cup has created a thing where there's going to be a lot of competitiveness among the clubs because of the, I guess, as the years go by, the tournament is going to gain prestige, it's going to gain respect, it's going to be valuable, but also there's a lot of money to be made there. Clubs can go there, make money, and then take that money back and invest into their clubs to buy players and facilities and those types of things. So it's important that clubs must try and push and qualify for those types of tournaments, especially for a club as ambitious as Pirates. So, I think you felt something was missing, especially for a club that last year went all the way to the semi-finals. It's a real pity. So now our hopes are on Sundowns to try and do this thing. And Sundowns, if you look at the way they've started the season already, they're blowing hot and cold. You just don't know.
Well, I felt even in that game against Pirates, it's not the Sundowns that would boss a game at Loftus.
Yeah, they're a bit edgy. There's a lot of things happening at that club. I think the sooner they sort them out, the better, because really they are not convincing. Sundowns are a club where, when they put their arm on your neck, when they put your arm around the neck, they really squeeze you in and they can cause damage. And recently, I've seen situations where they often even get back into a defensive mode when they are under pressure from clubs. So it's not good. Things are not the way they're supposed to be, but hopefully, they'll turn it around. It will be interesting to see how far they can go in the tournament.
But I just want us to start with the CAF Confed, coming from Group A. There, I feel that Group C and Group D are the toughest ones. Looking at Group A with USM Alger, former champions there, Joliba, Olympic Club, Safi, San Pedro. Well, not a really difficult group. But I think from Group B, Wydad, they've got Ziyech back. We spoke about Ziyech here. We know the impact Nyoso is also having there as well. AS Maniema. Remember, this is the team that almost knocked out Sundowns last season in the Champions League. Not an easy team. Azam, another strong team, third strongest team in Tanzania, coached by Florent Ibenge. Nairobi United, FC. I watched the team knocking out Etoile du Sahel in Tunisia. I think that's the first tougher group in Group C, in
Group B, yeah.
in Group B in the CAF Confed.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think the other dynamic that is happening here with the African football is that it's important that once in a while you have Champions League teams play in the Confed Cup.
Yes, yes.
Because then
Makes it competitive.
It makes it competitive and also the eyeballs.
Yes.
People will want to watch the Confed Cup because Wydad is there.
100%.
Some of the top teams are there.
100%.
So it's very, very important. Hence, it will be good for a team like Kaizer Chiefs
Yes.
to go as far as they can, because ordinarily, the longer you go in the tournament, you are going to meet the Zamaleks, you are going to meet the CR Bolizdads, you are going to meet the Wydads there. These are proper Champions League teams. It's just that they didn't qualify for the Champions League. So it's very, very important. And also there is a will and there's a reason why teams will really be pushing more to play in the Confed Cup, because there's also a bit of money there. Since the president has been there, there's also that monetary value of clubs taking it serious. It's just one thing which I don't understand. I think maybe as going forward, CAF must change that. The team that wins the Confed Cup must qualify for the Champions League. I just feel it will add a little bit more. I know people will say, yeah, we don't want to be like Europeans and all that kind of thing, but I think there will be something as an incentive in a way to say if you do that well, then you must go to the Champions League.
I think by the time we're also going to discuss the draw or the expansion of the Women's Cup of Nations, I just feel that CAF on the side of competitions and on the technical side, they're not progressing as they're progressing commercially.
And
they're very slow.
There is this thing of saying that we cannot follow everything that the Europeans do. But if Europeans are doing the sensible things, we should follow suit. I just don't understand why a team that wins the Confed Cup cannot qualify for the Champions League. It should be.
It's like being a champion and then you can't defend.
It's really one of those things. And it can add more to the clubs to take it more serious.
100%.
If you win it, you can qualify for the Champions League.
100%. Then Group C, CR Belouizdad. Stellenbosch is also here. AS Atoho from Congo Brazzaville. Obviously, CR coached by Sad Ramovic, and Singida Black Stars coached by Miguel Gamondi from Tanzania. I think here all eyes are going to be on Stellies and CR, but I'm not ruling out Singida Black Stars. No.
Singida can't be ruled out. They've been there and about over the last few years, but you are right. Stellenbosch, I think they can draw from the experience of last year or last season, as it were. They did well last season. They also went all the way to the semi-final stage. Sierra Belouizdad, a proper Champions League team.
100%.
You'd feel the teams that will probably qualify would be CR and Stellenbosch, just based on pedigree, but anything can happen on the field. Singida is a team that you can't take lightly. It will be nice to see Stellenbosch get out of the group, and also. They will often have problems with the venue. Maybe they can host Sierra Belouizdad in Johannesburg. I wouldn't mind going to watch Sierra Belouizdad because, they are a good enough team to go and watch. They will ask them a lot of questions, definitely. But I think if I look just based on pedigree and what we know, I think Stellenbosch and Sierra will go through.
Well, I don't know if the DHL Stadium, if it's not available, because I heard that Athlone Stadium has not been approved, and so is the stadium in Bloem as well, not the rugby stadium, and also obviously Dobsonville for Chiefs has also not been approved as well, so there's no chance of Chiefs going there. If
that's another thing, Caristo, where we can also maybe talk about CAFs that, like for example, Dobsonville. I mean, I just don't understand how Dobsonville can host group stage.
No. Actually, this was the conversation that I was having last night when I got this news that this stadium was. And I'm looking at some of the stadia
in other
our
countries.
teams are playing at, and I'm thinking. Is CAF really?
Yeah, I mean, it's just what we've been saying now. Athlone Stadium. What will stop Athlone Stadium?
What will stop Athlone from hosting?
Yeah, I mean, and this is not like
the facilities there are much better than in other countries
elsewhere.
Exactly.
You know, so sometimes, you know, as you're saying, maybe CAF must be reasonable. CAF must be amenable to certain issues to make things easier. I mean, in South Africa,
but do you think that maybe it's just an issue of they just don't want to have so many approved stadia, or they are just looking for the so-called World Cup stadia here in South Africa? Because
in the case of Stellenbosch, we are going to kill Stellenbosch because Stellenbosch will have to move if DSL Stadium is not available. Because as you can know, the anchor tenants of DSL Stadium is the Thomas. And the rugby season is on now.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, for an example, look at the logic of Dobsonville. What if Chiefs were playing against the Zamalek in the preliminary round of the Champions League at Dobsonville?
Yeah.
That match could have played in the preliminaries.
Yes.
So why can't they play in the group stages?
Yeah.
You know, so it really does not make
yeah,
much
no.
sense.
I think it's just some of the things about CAF, in as much as there's progress on the other side, but. You know, on the technical side, there are a lot of things
they can be found.
That I'm not.
And we have to be honest. We are not saying this because we are trashing everybody, but we just to say, maybe sometimes let's be lax a little bit.
Yes, 100%, 100%. And obviously, we come to Group D. I know this is the real group. Zamalek, former champions of this competition. Al Masry, both Zamalek and Al Masry. Obviously, Al Masry, they play outside Cairo. Both teams were in the knockout phase last season of this competition. Obviously, Kaizer Chiefs and also Zesco.
I've been calling for Zambian teams to come.
To come here.
I hope that these Zesco people are proper. You know, I would really love to see a Zambian team
you know, the SD was saying, I am a Totaipeli.
Yeah.
Because the last time they met Zesco beat them 5-2.
Yes.
On aggregate.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It was here.
Yeah.
Yes. So I am a Totaipeli.
Yeah, no. This is a tough group. And also the interesting dynamic for Chiefs is that 2 trips to Egypt. They are not going to be easy. Obviously, Zamalek will be a different story. Al Masry maybe not quite. Zesco here, when you go to Zambia, you are going to feel it because those people can pack the stadium. Those people can create a very intimidating atmosphere. Even when they come here, as you have just mentioned, that the Chiefs have got a score to settle against these guys. So yeah, this is one of the groups that we'll keep an eye out for. It will also be nice for Chiefs to push because you know the longer you go, one of the so-called big teams will probably, come out. And if you find yourself in the quarterfinals, you find yourself in the semi-final, anything is possible. For Chiefs to sort of raise their profile again on the continent, this is the best chance. If they can finish first or second in our league, they need to consistently play in the Confed Cup because the profile will go up, the players will gain available experience. I would love to see Villagazi and these Chiefs young players consistently being tested at that level.
100%.
They are going to be tested here by better opposition, different platforms, a lot of stress in those matches. Sometimes you find yourself in situations where you have to really do well away from home under very hostile conditions. It can only benefit the players. I think it's good. This one, I think Chiefs and Zamalek will go through, but hey, it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy because Zesco will have something to say about it. I'll just have to go and check and see how they are. Because
I think Chiefs will beat them.
Yeah, more probably. But I would love to see. I would love to.
They are not
to see Chiefs going
strong as before.
As they were before. Yeah. And maybe also for themselves is baby steps into trying to revive the team.
Yes.
There's something which they should not rush. Zesco is a big club on the continent. So the sooner, or maybe they might just take their time, rebuild the team, get new talent. I know also even at this level, because scouts are sniffing around a lot, produce something of quality that big clubs will come and take, but you make money at the same time.
Correct. So, Zambian football is down there.
Yeah.
Things are not going well for Zambian football. They've just lost their coach now, or they parted ways with him.
Government is not going to support the national team anymore now.
Exactly. So they need a new coach before the AFCON. So having Zesco going to the CAF Confed, in fact, the Champions League now, they've also got power dynamos there. I think maybe that could do something.
They need to make the right noises, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
If those teams do well,
yeah,
the vibe comes back and people start talking about Zambian football again, and it's very important. They
Yeah.
produce top players over the years. We cannot forget that.
For sure. So I think one of the things that I'm happy about is also is that at least by the time we go to the AFCON, they are just going to have 2 rounds this month and the last 2 weekends of this month.
Yeah.
Chiefs starts away to Al Masry, and then they are playing at home in the next game against Zamalek, and then it's also vice versa also for Zesco as well. So the 23rd and the 30th, by the time you go to the AFCON, at least you know do you have 6 points or do you have at least 4 points?
Yeah.
You know, if you don't got nothing, then you say, hey, there's still 4 games to play, but
Yeah.
but at least there's going to be something there. But
A good start is always important. Chiefs, for their advantage, they're starting against Al Masry, which they should be able to negotiate there.
yes,
Then
yes,
come back
on the
and-
road as
Yeah,
well.
they should be able to negotiate on the road. Come back here. If after 2 matches you have got what 4 points, it's not a bad result.
Yeah, North African teams, especially Egyptian teams, they fear us.
Yeah.
Because they know what we can do. And we can see this Chiefs team, they are starting to find each other.
Under this new
Still not
coach,
100% sure about their defense. I still feel that there's some issues there. And also aerially, if you are challenged aerially like we saw last night, they're going to have problems in this
North
competition.
Africa, that's their currency.
Exactly.
They go
Exactly.
cross in the box.
Exactly.
They've got big boys, and they can bully you in the air if you are not there. So that's another area which you are raising that they need to fix, because that's how they play. They go wide, crosses.
Yeah. Just have a quick reaction from the Chiefs camp, both the SD and the Miguel who were there. The SD is talking about using this cup competition to build for a Champions League place.
Could be seen as a plus, getting to understand the environment. It helps us plan our logistics slightly easier. I mean, if you look at going to Egypt and you look at going to Zambia, a short flight, it's something that you hopefully hope for, because traveling and logistics become very important. So, but that aside, Zamalek is a great team with great history, so a big task. Very excited. Al Masry also a very difficult opponent. So I think the Egyptian journey is going to be very exciting but very tough. Looking forward to it.
In terms of the test, the fact that both teams, especially Zamalek and Al Masry, were in the knockout phase, you couldn't have asked for a better test than that.
I think if you look at all the teams, there's a top level teams across all the groups. So I think we very much we understand what's expected and what we're going to face. I think now all the work begins. Planning, logistics, understanding, with our advanced team, how do we approach with our partners and stakeholders in different countries, because understanding the environment is very important. Apart from what happens in the field, I think, we're just looking forward to the draws done, looking forward to planning and the preparation for the time moving forward.
Sometimes there's an element to look down on the 2 guys that you have there on the bench, but they've also sat in a CAF Confed Cup final. How important will be their experience in leading this project?
Oh, very much so. They've gone all the way to the final. They've traveled, they've gotten the battle scars from the continent. And in this tournament and on the continent, experience is important. Experience on and off the pitch is going to be vital. We're privileged to have them. I mean, they've walked the journey. So, just very excited to see how they can help us navigate this one. Be very excited.
Yeah, of course. We're expecting very difficult games. At this time, there is no easy games. We are in the middle of the best teams of Africa, so we expect to work hard and give a good answer to represent well the country.
Yes. What I think is important for you, because there's always talk that for this kind of matches, 3 points at home, very important. You have got a cushion of 9 points.
Yeah, definitely. So, in these kind of games, all the games are important, away and home games. But we are aware that getting a good result at home and try to do our best in these games away, it will be very, very difficult, of course. But the most important is to bring good results away and do our best at home.
You also had a good test. It was not easy for you to reach the group stages. Do you think that is also building you for a tricky draw like this one?
Yeah, definitely. These two teams that we faced, they were very difficult teams. It was tough countries to travel and to perform with all the environment, all the things. But I think the team gave a good answer. We understand that despite all these difficulties that we faced as soon as we arrived, even in Congo, in Angola, we know that we have to do our best in the field. I think that we understand that well, despite the result in Angola. After the experience in Congo, we understand that the most important was to come home and do the job at home.
Well, I guess it's what you're talking about, Zizo. What the sporting director Kaizer Chiefs Jr. is talking about here, that he wants to use this competition as a launch pad to fight for a Champions League position here at home.
Yeah, for the Champions League also, it becomes it's going to be very, very interesting. That you can see the Chiefs revival is sort of taking shape slowly. So every season we'll have Sundowns, Pirates, and Chiefs competing for those two spots in the Champions League.
Yeah,
it will be very exciting. Obviously, since there's now you can only have two.
Yeah. And when we look at how the log standings, the things are going now.
Things are going now.
Even Sundowns can't relax now.
No, because Chiefs are there.
Yes.
And Sundowns have played more matches, So,
Yes.
so the only thing Sundowns must do is just keep on winning, and then these other guys must come.
Yeah.
So which sets up nicely. But looking at the bigger picture, you can only have two teams in the Champions League. Chiefs are increasingly showing a big appetite for being big players on the continent again, which is going to make it very, very interesting. Which means Sundowns cannot relax, Pirates cannot relax. Once in a while, you'll have a Stellenbosch, you'll have a Kekana who is also making a push for themselves, which is going to be very, very interesting for football.
Do you think the time has really come for CAF not to talk about these things behind the scenes, but implement that, especially the top 5 strongest leagues based on their ranking system
Must have more teams.
Must have more teams, because also it means you'll have more eyeballs.
Yeah, from our side, it's quite normal that a Chiefs, even though they've not been making the noises on the continent,
Correct.
Is a team that if they qualify or play in the Champions League, the eyeballs will be there.
Yes.
So if they finish that,
You can even hear the noise now, even though they're playing.
So it can only be good for the tournament or for the competition.
Yes.
If obviously that's a big if they finish that, that you have got hypothetically you have got Sundowns, Pirates, and Chiefs in the Champions League.
Yes.
So it's something which should happen going forward. But obviously, a lot needs to happen until then. But I think I'm just quite happy to see that Chiefs have developed this strong appetite of once again being big players on the continent, because they know this big club deserves to be playing at that stage. It's about time. It's not. I think it's enough now that every season we've got about Sundowns and to a lesser extent about Pirates, and the other small teams, obviously, with your respect, they can go to the Confed Cup.
We go to the Champions League. Here, straight, we're not going to stay too long discussing the groups, but here there's no place to hide for anyone.
Nah.
So, straight from Group A, RS Berkane, the reigning champions in the CAF Confed, the reigning champions in the Champions League, Pyramids, Rivers United and Power Dynamos. I'm happy Zambia is back. But there, you can clearly see that the top 2 teams, Berkane and Pyramids, but what a group.
Yeah. You see, when you see stuff like this, you just say, bring it on.
Bring it on.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
The Super Cup played recently.
Yeah.
And it was Pyramids against Berkane.
Yeah.
and they get the same group.
And you know the rivalry between the two countries. You know, so it's very interesting. Power Ramos also is the same thing that we've been saying. I don't know. We don't know what sort of team is going to come out of there. Hopefully, they've got the ducks in the row. Nigeria, another country which has not really done well. In the Champions League, I think Rivers. It will be a shame if Rivers were not to make out of the group. And looking at the way this group is probably gonna shape up, you feel Pyramids as the defending champions and Barkan will be the ones who will be favorites to go through. And you know, I wouldn't put it past anyone that these are the two teams that are likely going to go through. I would love to see Power Ramos make the right noise, and to a lesser extent, Pyramids. I don't want to sound like the Minister of Sports of of talking about Nigerian teams and stuff. But really here, I think Barkan and Pyramids will go through. You know.
Yeah, no, for sure. Going to be very interesting because both Pyramids and RS Berkane, they are not the biggest teams in Morocco and also in Egypt. Obviously, the third best, even when it comes to even on the stands. But two teams that are reigning champions in their respective.
They bring a nice mixed group because of the rivalry between the two countries.
Exactly,
it's very, very important.
Yeah, Group B. Well, Al Ahly, Young Africans, that is Yanga, Asfa, JS Kabylie. Yanga is sandwiched between Morocco, Egypt, and Algeria. There, it's gonna be tough, that group.
Yeah, this one, you know,
even Al Ahly, I feel that they are in for something in that group.
Because Al Ahly have had sort of turmoil over the last few years, changing coaches and stuff. But they have quite experience, Al Ahly.
Yes.
They'll negotiate around this group. Here, you see here, that's where you can only pick one team here.
You know, I also feel strongly about Yanga. I think they've paid their dues.
Yeah.
And they've got a very interesting coach in Coach Pedro Goncalves. So the former coach of the Angolan national team. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting here.
Because also you can sense that maybe a team like Asfa and Kabylie, they may find it very difficult when they go to Young Africans.
Young Africans, yes.
And that's where maybe they must capitalize and try to get something away. Definitely beat them at home.
Yes.
Your chances will be there. Al Ahly will be a different story.
Play them at 3 p.m.
Yeah. when it's 40 degrees.
I know my friends in North Africa will not agree with me. Dog, they must play you at 3 p.m.
So maybe that's what they must do. If you get those 6 points at home against them, and try and get something away from home, you know, you can.
At Benjamin Mkapa.
Yeah, you can. You
3. They
can do it. They can do it.
Yeah.
It will be nice, as you're saying. I think you know, the football courts must reward them now. They've been consistently campaigning at this level, and you know, a big season is due for them.
100%.
You feel?
Yes. Group C, the group you've been waiting for, the group everyone has been talking about, the group everyone was looking forward to in anticipation that Sundowns and Coach Rulani Mourinho.
The only problem, that match is only happening next year. In Pretoria, the return. Isn't it? I saw
the return. No, but the first fixture.
Yeah.
The first fixture is before the end of the last weekend.
Yeah.
Of this month.
Yeah.
In Alger.
Yes. Having him back here. You know, that's where the people want to see. I think that one is only in Feb or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're gonna have to. That's. I don't know.
But I loved Rulani's response. I thought that was maturity, in terms of, he says, the pedigree, the football heritage, Champions League heritage, rests with Sundowns and Al Hilal in this group.
He's measured because.
Yes.
Also, even though he left the club under circumstances which were not right, you know, Sundowns did a lot for Rulani.
Yes.
In as much as obviously vice versa, he did a lot for them. Coach Rulani is getting older. He's getting more matured now, and he knows how to navigate around these things. You don't want to be saying things which may come back to bite you.
Yes,
if he says something here and then he gets here, and then the result doesn't go his way, it will be another story.
Correct.
For us, the neutrals, we can't wait. I can tell you now, that match they has won at Loftus or Muribe. You are going to have almost 100 journalists in that match. He's coming back. It's going to be emotional.
I can tell you, we will do what we used to do during Coach Pizzo's time when he used to come here with Al Ali.
Yeah.
We will be at the airport.
We will definitely be there.
When they land.
It's going to be emotional.
We'll doorstep. Flash interview, Coach Mourinho. Flash interview.
And also don't forget the dynamic that there's still a lot of players at Sundowns who had strong emotional attachment to Coach Rulani.
Yes.
How they navigate around that is going to be tricky. But you know, the football coach has given us this thing. Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy it.
But we must also say that there are some also interesting teams in that group. Al Hilal from Sudan.
Yes.
And Al Hilal, you must back up.
I've heard from Sundowns guys who have traveled to that place. They say, no, it's not just
Al Hilal and also San Elwan Lupopo now.
To be honest, interesting group, you know. And that's Champions League for you. You know, you don't get to choose who to play. But for us, I think as Sundowns, we are comfortable with the group. I think we have a good team with good players that can get the job done. I mean, we just have to bring our A games to each and every game that we're going to play so that we can qualify for the next group.
For Sundowns, after losing in the final last season, how important is it to make that final and make it count this time?
It is very important. I mean, last season it was very close. I think this season we just have to raise our level and the mindset and the hard work. You know, Champions League talent alone is not enough. You need to put the hard work also. I think this season is going to be interesting, and for us, we are ready for anything.
I watched Coach Rulani's last game in the CAF Champions League against the team from Cameroon. You can see his input and the team starting to play to his identity as well. What can you say about him, having worked with him over the years?
To be honest, he's a good coach, he's a good human being. I mean, working with him, it was very exciting because of you get to learn a lot as a player, you know, you get to improve a lot as a player, you know. So for me, I really appreciate the time that I spent with him, you know.
I thought there's a fair draw for the teams that are in the Champions League, because remember, in the Champions League you cannot choose your opponent, you know, they come as they come, and I hope we would prepare the way we want to prepare, you know, to prepare thoroughly for these teams, because we're talking about the champions from their respective clubs, so countries, so it will be very, very fair for us to prepare better.
Very interesting, Coach Rulani in the mix there.
Yeah.
I think that brings in an interesting element to the group.
Yeah, I think what I like about this fixture is the fact that he's coming in a two-leg affair. You know, that will give us enough time, you know, to enjoy these moments, because in a group stage you'd want to meet everybody, to be honest. But you know, Coach Rulani, we know him very well. He knows us very well. It will be nice encounter, you know, just to see where will be our team in terms of the level, in terms of the fitness, and of course some of the things that we want to try in the Champions League this year. Yeah, it will be nice to see how we're gonna do things. Especially in the group stage, we want to make sure that we seal it early.
The big one, the draw produced MC Alger versus Just firstly, before we go to detail, what are your immediate reactions?
I love it. It's a Champions League. That's why we call it Champions League. And you meet anybody, you meet everybody. It's just a matter of how you take the matches, how you suppress them, some emotions. But I do know that Mamelodi Sundowns and the Alger, they've been in this competition for quite some time now. These are big teams that are here, and to be honest, we cannot personalize it. It's just a fixture that Mamelodi Sundowns has to, take a part in and make sure that we win football matches, because in the Champions League we have to win football matches, unfortunately or fortunately.
But for South Africa, how important is to see the country producing these top coaches who go outside and coach some of the big teams on the continent, like you are presented in this case with
Coach Rulani. I must say, as South Africans, we've got talent all around. Coaches that are in our league, coaches are in our lower league, coaches are in a grassroots. I think they just need platform, and obviously, Coach Rulani has been the fortunate one to get to be granted the platform early in his age, in his early age, to be granted that opportunity. Of course, he took it with both hands, and we must congratulate him for always trying to better himself every year and every team that he goes to. It takes a bravery of a man, and I'm happy for him to open the channel for other coaches that are coming. And I do believe that after Coach Bizo won the Champions League with Al Ali, I mean, there should be a benchmark for any South African coach to go out there and represent the country well. Even the players that are coming from out of our league to go to the North Africans, to go to other leagues, it's really of who we are as South Africans, and it's just a matter of finding a proper platform and getting those opportunities to go outside of the country.
But do you think, when you look at Coach Rulani, is the other factor, is it a case of maybe he knows more about Sundowns?
Yeah, for sure. Let's be honest, the guy spent 8 years with the Sundowns team. He knows the team in and out. Of course, it will be very tricky to play against him. I can imagine the players that he coached, because they know his style of play, knows his style of doing things. I do feel for them, and I do feel the emotions towards the game and prior to the game, because I know that we will want to win for sure, and of course he will want to win against us. It'll be a nice feel for me to try to do that. But from a football person, I just love to see that match, because it will work on players' favors, because the more they play the game, the lesser the emotions, the better for us to watch a good brand of football, because two teams, they'll come out and play and they'll entertain us.
And what is interesting for me is Coach Bukasa. And let's listen to Coach Bukasa here talking about Rulani and how passionate he is about Coach Rulani's work.
It's not easy. It's not easy because the market is full of European coaches, and most of them are old. So, some our presidents, they feel comfortable when they are dealing with those coaches. We respect them, but honestly, I think that it's time now for African coaches to wake up. The new generation must stop to struggle, to be afraid. We have to go in the pitch now and to show what African coaches can do. Because in the past, analysis was the specialty of European coaches. But for the moment, all of us, we have the possibility to learn and also to make good analysis, to make good tactical approaches. So I think our generation is ready to take the command of African football. Look what our brother did in the World Cup with Morocco. It's very impressive, and we are very proud, because I remember when I started the preparation with the under-20 national team of DRC, I played against him, and we have a very good relationship, even with Coach Mokwena, who is now in Muludia. So I think it's time now for African coaches to wake up and to start to show also what we can offer.
Actually, tell us more about your relationship with Coach Mokwena, because I listen to you, even the way you talk, even the way. What do you really like about his approach to the game?
Modern coach, Rulani is a modern coach. Is someone who love to take the risk, because our job. If you are not taking risk, you will not. They can't see you. They can't see you. But what I appreciate with him is that he's a coach who takes some risk, and he's very consistent in what he's doing. It's not a bad result who can change his philosophy. No, he has a philosophy, and you see that everywhere he's going, he's trying to keep that philosophy. That is very interesting, because sometimes in Africa, coaches are managing by fans. When fans are not happy with what is happening, you can see that coach is changing his mind just to make people happy. But what I appreciate with Mokwena, he has a philosophy, and he keeps his philosophy and trying to bring all team his coaching in that philosophy. And that is very good, because that the new generation educated coaches, and when we are in a dressing room, it's clear that players will respect us.
Two young technocrats.
Two young technocrats. Yeah. And when you listen to them talking the similar language, also in their late 30s, two young coaches. I think this group has given us something.
Yeah, and also I think it's good for African football, that you have got young coaches at this level, taking over big clubs. These are not Mickey Mouse teams. These are big clubs.
Yes.
The historical clubs, the clubs that have got a lot of history. Obviously, the people behind the scenes at those clubs, they've still deemed it fit to entrust this massive responsibility on these young guys.
100%.
And having seen what Lubopo did to Pirates here in Johannesburg. Yeah. And I think we must, the day Lubopo comes to South Africa, they must organize a translator if this guy cannot speak English. Mokoko must come to the press conference. Yeah, we just want to hear this man. Yeah, we just want to hear this man. What maybe he can finally or ultimately fill us in as to what happened at Orlando. Mind games, how did he manage to get into the minds of the Pirates players and that kind of thing. It will make for a very, very good story. But overall, another tough group. We're looking forward to it. It will be nice to see Lupopo again here. It will be nice to see Coach Rulani back here. And, we can't wait. I think that match against Sundowns against Coach Rulani, the tickets will be sold out in 15 minutes. It's going to be something else. I saw last night in the Champions League, UEFA Champions League.
Who's coming out of that group?
I was just going to say, raising the point that I saw last night the emotion of Alonso going back to Liverpool.
Oh, yes. Xabi Alonso, yes.
It's that kind of thing. It can be emotional, yeah. Who gets out of the group in this one? Sundowns and Alger.
Sundowns and Raja.
And Alger.
And Alger, yeah. Sundowns and Alger.
Yeah. But it's not easy in Al Hilal.
It's not easy there.
I've spoken to people Sundowns who have been there. Yeah, no, you need.
So you said Group A, Kekana, and Pyramids. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Pyramids and Kekana. Here, I'm only almost certain about Al Ahly. These ones must eliminate each other. But I would love to see young Africans.
I'm saying Al Ahly and the younger.
Young Africans.
Okay, I agree with you. Sundowns and MC Alger. And there's Group C. And there's Group D. And in Group D, what attracts me is the South African interest that we have.
Yeah.
And here we have Roshin Direk and also Neo Mayema at Simba. Remember, they went there to join Coach Fadlu, and then they were left behind there. But what I like is that they'll continue to play Champions League football.
Yeah, which is very important.
And they've got Esperanza here, they've got Petro Atletico, Petro di Luanda, that is, and also Stade Malien. Very interesting, but I fancy Simba and Esperanza here.
Yeah, well, Simba also, they've been there and about. They've been there and about. They're serious about this thing. The same as in this group with Petro. You feel they're due for something big.
Yes.
They're due for group stages soon. But Esperance. Hi. Esperance went the final not so long ago, eh?
Yeah.
With this Sundowns coach.
Yeah.
So, it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough, but look,
and also don't ignore Stade Malien because
Stade Malien, yes,
these are the
yes,
teams which obviously the teams will know more about them because they check them. For us who don't have the complicated stuff to find out who's who, these teams once in a while they rock up here and then you get shocked. Say, hey, who are these people? Because they normally have got good players.
100%.
You can't go there blindfolded, not knowing what's going to happen. But also more often than not, you find that they are not really that good. So it just depends on what you find. I think that definitely Esperance will be the favorites in this group, and it's just an issue of seeing who do they go against. I'll have to see Simba, Petro. Petro, I remember they were here at this very stadium. That's when they knocked out Sundowns.
Yes. But they are a different.
They're a different team now.
They are different Petro now to the team that
things has happened.
Yeah, they used to have back then.
So you think Tanzania can have two teams at the group stages? I don't know. Maybe let's spread it a little bit. But Simba also they've been doing well. I mean, you can't undermine them. They've done very, very well over the last few years, and also there because of the fact that they've got two South Africans in the team, which is important. Neo is there, the Roshin is there, so definitely there. Esperance will be there. Maybe a toss-up between Simba and Petro de Luanda to go through.
Very interesting indeed, that one. But let me tell you, I also spoke to the acting director of communications at CAF, was also the head of TV last September, around these parades and also Kenya police protests. And this is what he had to say about it.
Look, I mean, there is independent judicial bodies at CAF, the disciplinary board. I believe that I know that they are looking into a lot of these matters. It's important that we give space to them to look at the merits of all these, be it the complaint, be it protest or whatever. At the moment, we are not at liberty to talk about it. We are giving space to our judicial bodies to look at these things. We have to continue with the business of the day, and we will be led by whatever the DC says or the judicial bodies of CAF dictates.
So it will be for match day one. So,
well, I mean, everything is an independent body. You don't know. I mean, there might be a decision. Someone decides to appeal. I don't know what will happen. I cannot preempt this. The only thing I can confirm to you is that all these matters are before the CAF judicial bodies. They are being obviously processed through the system at the moment. And as administration, we are waiting for the outcome of the judicial bodies.
I think Zizo, the acknowledgement coming from Lux there is, it's clear that, okay, the relevant bodies, which is the judicial bodies of CAF, are looking into this. But you also get the sense that if this was really a strong case, it wouldn't have gone to the draw. These teams wouldn't have gone to the draw.
Yeah.
And also, based on what I also said last week, from what I heard from someone who's got experience of the CAF DC, that if this was a player sitting on, or an ineligible player, then it's a different case. But when it's a coach, the worst case scenario could be a fine there. And also, these other protests or complaints, I must say, maybe about issues of the registration of other players, and also the passport issues as well. So you get the sense that nothing is going to change there.
Yeah, I listened to an interview with Andile on the radio, with the Limpopo CEO, and I think he's pretty much clarified everything. I don't think there's an issue there. The funny thing is that he's saying that the Pirates are protesting based on what they've seen on social media. And he has explained that...
Is it sure that it's on social media?
Well, that's what he's saying.
Because, sometimes you would think that, these things, people have information.
Yeah. But he's sticking to his guns that they've not done anything wrong. They will be in the group stages. And let's see, I think let maybe CAF clarify this matter soon, because the first rounds of matches are playing after next week, after the fair window.
100%.
So we need to, when we get there, these questions are, we don't want these questions. We don't want the situation of FIFA and South Africa and Lesotho, and the matter drags, and then in the last minute, boom, a bomb is dropped, So, if Limpopo were to be booted out of the tournament, I don't know how Pirates are going to be prepared to jump in.
No, Pirates will be ready.
Because
Sundowns were ready in 2016.
I'm just saying in terms of logistics and, so hence, the sooner you clarify it, the better.
Clarify, yeah.
But from where I'm sitting and having listened to the CEO,
you can tell that,
they know that the worst case scenario, they'll probably get a fine and they'll pay the fine and they'll continue moving on. But yeah, we don't want to see things like this happening in football, definitely. And it's well within Pirates' right to protest if they feel something that was not supposed to have happened has happened. They're not breaking any rule or anything like that. So they're entitled to do it. But over and above that, they should not be where they are now. Pirates should have won that match quite comfortably. So it's a pity that they're not in there. As things stands, they are not there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to hurt them very, very bad.
The next point, I want to open with the minister, talking about the issue of the yellow card debacle. We were there at the Freedom Heritage site, Zwane, yesterday.
The issue that has dominated headlines over the past few weeks, the so-called yellow card blunder that threatened to derail Bafana Bafana's World Cup qualification campaign. When I heard that our national team has been docked 3 points, I requested the full report from SAFA following our successful World Cup qualification. Just because we survived the scare, many wanted us to just sweep it under the carpet. They didn't want us to further investigate what happened. I wrote to FIFA, firstly to apologize for the embarrassment caused, and to acknowledge that this was about ensuring accountability and that it would never happen again. South Africans deserve answers. I've given SAFA 7 days to give us answers as South Africa, to make sure this never happens again. SAFA has complied with my ask and has completed its investigation. They provided me with a very comprehensive investigation, and I can report today that we now have full clarity on what happened. The report confirms that this was not an act of negligence or sabotage, but rather a strange and highly unusual set of coincidences. The 2 yellow cards issued to Teboho Mokwena came 16 months apart, an almost unheard of gap. Team manager Vincent Teka, who has taken responsibility for the oversight despite numerous extenuating circumstances. He was not present when the second card was issued, as he has left the field to fetch ice for the players. That extraordinary coincidence tells us something deeper, that our national team is operating under immense strain with far too few hands doing far too much work.
Zizo, you've heard the minister.
You are going to end up saying maybe I see things that are going to happen before they happen. I did say nothing's going to happen to this team.
What do you think of the explanation? And the minister seems to have accepted the explanation coming from SAFA. But when you are still having that thought, there's also an issue of why is this matter now being dealt with by the NEC? Is this not something that is at the level of the CEO, since it's dealing with an employer-employee level?
Yeah, I think they are managing it. Obviously, we don't know, or we don't have the intricate ins and outs, the politics.
Yes.
Because with stuff like this, there's always politics involved.
Yes.
And
maybe there are a lot of people implicated besides, because what we hear is always the name of the manager.
Yeah, but I mean,
there could be other people.
There may be other people. Maybe they've taken a decision to sort of put the manager on the firing line. And also, you could see with the way that he's been handling himself, he probably knew that nothing's going to happen.
Do you think the story could have been different if you were not qualified?
Also, if we are not qualified, I mean, it's not going to matter anymore. I mean, we're not qualified too. But I guess now maybe people will be more angrier because we didn't qualify, because especially if we didn't qualify,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because of it. Yeah, then hey, it's going to be something else. It's going to be something else now. But I can see people are still not happy with the
they're
explanation.
asking about the situation of the ice.
Yes, to say no, he went to get the ice, and people are saying no, but you still have to check your records afterwards, and, which are legitimate things that people are saying. They are managing the situation now. They don't want this thing to continue now. The minister, you can also feel the man was briefed properly.
Yes.
To say when you go there, this is the line you must take, and then he has taken that line. And then, I mean, if the
but
minister
now
said,
this matter is in the past.
Yeah, I think now, even though a lot of people are not happy that no serious consequences management has been done here, but it's been laid to rest, and then let's move on.
One of the things that Dr. Cheneja done when he came back to lead SAFA in 2013, he was talking about world-class administration. And as things stand, SAFA is far from world-class administration.
Yeah, no, SAFA is far. Also, it's not resourced enough.
Exactly.
Another thing that the minister did say.
Yes, the minister spoke about that yesterday.
But
the CEO has also complained.
If how are you going to resource them? Because if you bring experienced people, if you bring qualified people, you must pay them.
You don't just have the manager that we are talking about. He's the manager. He's not just the manager of Bafana. He's the manager of all national teams.
Yeah, it's a lot of
and
work.
let me tell you about the person who's assisting him with the men's national teams. He's the manager of all men's national teams. Mulalo is not even a team manager, but is helping out. Mulalo is working in the competitions division.
Yeah.
And in that competitions division, there's only 3 or 2 of them. You understand?
Even that is not enough.
Even that is not enough.
Yeah.
You understand? Because now you will have the manager doing Bafana, doing under 17, doing under 20 at the same time. And it happened recently. You understand?
Yeah, no, because all the national teams were busy now.
Exactly. We're not talking about defending people, but also don't set people up for failure. You understand?
Which may have been the case here.
Exactly. Because you can go to the biggest national teams. They've got more than 3 people who are doing admin work of the national teams.
Yeah, no. You are right. I mean, we're not defending anyone. We're just pointing out to the facts. The minister said it himself.
Exactly.
That SAFA,
and still SAFA still wants to cut more staff with all these challenges. Having said that, the minister also now delivers the issue of prize money, in fact, the bonuses. Well, he did say when Bafana was celebrating there. But I just feel that I see the reaction of the people around, no, why Bafana this much? And, it's a pity that people don't listen to the full interview or what is being said. The minister has been vocal about the disparity in the sponsorship of football and the national teams in rugby, cricket, and football. And yesterday, and he's been saying that he would like to see more sponsors going to
football,
especially Bafana Bafana. But one of the things you are saying that he's trying to help, but also we must also say that one of the things I've picked up, there are a lot of companies that want to come and sponsor SAFA or even the national teams, but apparently they are just not sure about the issues of money around SAFA.
Yeah, which has always been a problem. I think if you don't have proper systems in place, if you have got leaders that have got a lot of questions around them. I mean, as we speak now, this morning there were headlines that one of the former CEOs is going to be arrested. He's going to be appearing in court. So it's not a good image. If you are a person sitting there with lots of money, you want to invest in football, and all you see in the media is those types of stories, you will think twice. We also understand that in our country, corporates tend to lean more towards so-called white sports, which is wrong.
Yes.
And that needs to change. I think we can't always be having situations where the so-called wild sports are the ones that get the biggest chunk.
Why are we having this challenge? Is it because the decision makers in these companies are white people and who are looking out for their own interests? Somebody was saying the other day to me, you will find that some of these decisions are even made on the golf courses.
Yeah.
They are even made in cycling.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, when they're cycling in the morning.
And they're cycling in the morning.
Yeah, it's true. It obviously will be a combination of a lot of things, but that's the one thing that most of in a private sector generally.
Yes.
Leadership is white males. White males generally will love cricket and rugby, and where if they put their money where their mouth is, they will go to rugby and cricket, and less about football.
And I'm going to be controversial a bit and say here, even in football, if you see on the ground who's playing, who's covering, or even who's owning, but look at who's controlling.
Yes.
The commercial side.
Yes, it also goes into, I can even go even closer. Look at our space, the stuff that we do, podcasts and all this other stuff.
Yes.
The white guys have got all the sponsors.
All the sponsors.
Other people don't have.
We don't have.
And then you knock at the very same door, they give them, they don't give other people. So
exactly.
It's the harsh reality of our country. And these things must change, and we need to talk about them. We are not picking on anyone.
No, exactly.
It's true. It's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, President of TS Galaxy, Tim Sukazi, has spoken about this.
Has spoken about it, yes.
I spoke to the President of Amazulu, Sandile Zungu. He spoke about this. We've been talking about this. We were at the school the other time here.
Yeah.
He was talking about this.
In South Africa, you have a situation where a rugby club somewhere in the middle of nowhere can have a be sponsored more than the PSL team.
I mean, we see now teams are being relegated.
And they still get sponsors.
They still get sponsors.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw Cape Town Spurs.
Yeah, they've got a Kappa now.
They've got a Kappa now. They're in the amateur ranks.
And I can tell you now, the very same Kappa sitting with proposals from PSL teams, but they're not sponsoring them. It is what it is.
South Africa for you. Yeah. So when we talk about economic freedom in our lifetime, don't say I wear a red beret. But I'm just saying, when we talk about economic freedom in our lifetime,
it must happen.
It must happen.
Yeah. And sometimes it's painful to see these things that the way they happen. But
yeah, there was a heated point there around this. Let's just listen to the minister when he talks about this. Around the issues of governance and why he doesn't have control, and why FIFA is operating differently. And I want you to touch on this because you cover a lot of these other sporting codes.
FIFA does not want government interference. Once I will be the most hated man if I interfere there and we are not going to the World Cup. The people that were saying to me after the deduction of the points, Minister, wake up! You must investigate them. People were flooding my social media. You must investigate them. The next day when I ask questions, they're like, after we qualified, they say, no, stay away. You're going to get us disqualified. You must know this minister does not know what he's doing. What makes this minister do? He's a fool. So I'm saying to you, FIFA runs football. That's a fact. I don't like it, but that is what we signed up for. We are now going to be the second country in the world to have football ombudsman. The UK has successfully, through the parliament, passed legislation to have a football ombudsman. We are going to the UK to go and learn and see best practices and how they manage to do that.
Zizo, firstly, and I'm not sure how clued up on how you've read on the issue of the Football Act in England, and also issues around the ombudsman as well and the independent regulator as well. But the minister is saying he's been in touch with the Minister of Sport there in the UK, and especially around the issues of interference. Because he's saying, as you hear him there, that people, when he's not acting, is an issue. Yeah. And then when he says something, people are saying, no, we're going to be banned, you're going to be banned. What are you doing? You know? And then he's saying, okay, you know what, now? But he's saying he's exploring the issue of the Football Act or the Ombudsman route, because I think it's a systematic way. Because we must also call this as it is, that this issue of so-called third-party interference, government interference, FIFA is only wielding the big stick in Africa, because
it doesn't happen elsewhere.
Exactly. These things are happening in other parts, but just because they want to control. And they want to have this control because they want to ensure that they've got people in charge at the FAs who will vote for them.
Yes, it's true.
Exactly. And so, one of the questions I asked the minister here, and he responded around this, is what is their stance as African sports ministers? Because maybe it's a different case here in South Africa because government doesn't pump in a lot of money. But in other countries, government will pump in money, and then you're saying government must not ask how this money has been used.
Yeah. I think also the issue of FIFA, I know FIFA is powerful.
Yes. But it shouldn't be more than the constitution of that country.
They almost do as they wish, you know.
Exactly.
The only country which they are not doing as they wish is in the US now, with the World Cup, but everywhere they go, they just take charge. On the continent, almost 90% of the countries, they are funded by the treasury of those countries. National team coaches' salaries come from the coffers of those countries. So, in corporate governance, if I put money there, I have got a right to ask how is that money being used. And if I'm asking how that money is being used, it should not be classified as interference. When the minister was writing, was trying to get to the bottom of what happened at SAFA, at the same time he wrote a letter to FIFA, assuring them that what his intentions were, what he wanted to do, and he is not interfering.
Exactly.
You know, so it should not be seen as being his interference.
I didn't understand all the brouhaha. FIFA this. Maybe I think it's also the lack of knowledge.
Of understanding of how things work.
Exactly. Yeah. Because he was apologizing.
He firstly said no, he's apologizing for SAFA to have brought the game in distribute.
Yes.
And he said, I want to go moving there and find out what happened. Because clearly something that should not have happened.
Exactly.
And that is just as an accounting officer. This man gives SAFA money. So he needs to know what is happening there. Or even if it's not the issue of money, even an issue of governance, if it's an issue of things that SAFA are supposed to be doing that they are not doing, he has a right in a way to go and ask the question, guys, what's going on here?
What is your knowledge of what happened during the late Minister Natim Teta's time? Because, and how different? Because I gather that, International Rugby Board, the International Cricket Council, the IOC, and I think even World Athletics, they all have similar rules to FIFA.
But they're not that heavy-handed.
They're not that heavy-handed. And hence, government, through SASCOC, was able to intervene at SASCOC. You understand?
Yeah, when there were problems at SASCOC.
At SASCOC. And then, even with cricket, they were able to, we've got...
that is the question that the teachers will ask.
Yes. We've got a differently constituted executive at Cricket South Africa now with independent directors because of the recommendations of that Zulman Commission of Inquiry. So, I mean, look at the speed in which SASCOC is acting now at Athletics South Africa. You understand? Hence, I was asking the minister.
Now where the Springbok brand was supposed to be sold to an American company, all those kinds of things, and you know, so
and the minister, and no one came in and said, and the minister was having meetings. And no one said, but the minister, where do you come in?
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah,
so I feel that this thing of this thing of having a sporting code and also this sporting code being treated with kid gloves, for me, because if I'm coming from the other sporting code, I would also then say, when the minister comes to my sporting code, I'm like, but you're afraid of going in there.
Yeah, no, I think we have to accept that these international bodies are there to run the sports.
Yes.
But also individual countries have got their own, in South Africa we've got our own constitutions, we've got our own rules, we've got the way we do things. And at the end of the day, sport is not like heavily funded by government, but it is funded by government.
100%.
There are grants that the government give to this federation. So government should have some sort of a say as to how that money is being used. Because
so let me say this.
Taxpayers' money.
Bafana, they are going to play. They play in this stadium. The stadium where Bafana is playing, that is not just a commercial deal. Stadium management, South Africa, if they are to play here at FNB Stadium, is contracted. Is running the stadium on behalf of the city of Johannesburg. That's a government entity. You understand what I mean? And we know that the municipalities, they bid to host Bafana matches. And the money there is hovering around between 4.5 million and to 5 million rands. So if there was no government, if government were to say, no, we're not involved.
Yeah, we don't have anything.
It would exactly.
I mean, like now, the minister is going to give these guys 5 million to prepare for AFCON.
Yeah.
So if there's a mess there, he mustn't go there and ask them what's going on.
No,
he must.
Because, I'm basing this thing because there's already allegations that. Remember when Infantino went to the CAF Congress recently, and after that there was a lot of announcements that were made, about so many. African football officials serving in different committees. There's already talk that Infantino is doing that to capture the African vote, because we are just around the corner for yet another term for him.
And also, historically, we have seen situations where African leaders from time to time, they don't stand strong.
Yes.
To FIFA.
Exactly. And apparently also these are also some of the things he used to complain. Before he came in, he was complaining that Blatter is using these FIFA subcommittees or the standing committees, especially with African officials, to buy the vote. So,
yeah, no, there's always politics involved.
You see?
There's always politics involved.
We move to just the last 2 points. We move to the CAF Women's AFCON. We know that there were teams that were already qualified to play in that tournament. But now, I think this is another issue with CAF. I mean, the tournament, the qualifiers are playing,
done.
And they're done. But
then you add
it's
more.
not the first time I had heard about that there's going to be expansion of the tournament. But I was wondering, even when the qualifiers were on, but what is happening to the expansion? And then they come after.
Yeah.
And the argument that I'm hearing is, it makes sense, because when you look at countries like DRC, that team gave us a run for our money at DRC. I mean, even the way we qualified. If you look at also a team like
Egypt or something like that?
Benin. Benin, it was not an easy meet for Nigeria to beat Benin, you know? So there are countries that will feel hard done by, that the ranking system has been used, you know? I know that, look, the countries that are coming in now is what? It's
DR?
It's Egypt, it's Cameroon. Okay, let me just double check. Quick.
Because also the other thing is that, I mean, you can understand the cry from the rest of the countries. If the number was determined from the beginning,
Yes.
qualifiers could have turned out differently, probably.
Yes.
You know, because some countries will have fancied their chances in an expanded qualifying process. Now, you know, as you say, the qualifiers have finished, and then now they're adding more according to the ranking system, which once again, CAF,
Yeah.
you know,
You could have also organized a playoff, for instance, you know, because now they are using a FIFA ranking system. Hence, you have Cameroon who are ranked 66th, you have Cote d'Ivoire ranked 71st, Mali 79th, and Egypt 95. And Egypt got a drubbing in these qualifiers. So they joined Morocco, the hosts, Zambia, Tanzania, Malawi, Algeria, Nigeria, Ghana, Burkina Faso, Kenya, Cape Verde, South Africa, and Senegal. But I think this is one area. So that technical and the competition side, CAF really needs to improve the side because it's really very unprofessional.
Yeah, it's very unprofessional that they're doing this type of things. I don't think there's anything wrong with increasing the number of teams because it will go a long way in terms of improving the quality of the women's game on the continent. By the way they've gone about it, I think it leaves a lot to be desired. And things like this should not happen. You know, you must qualify on the field. And you can understand why other teams are complaining. You know, so yeah, it's something which really is not good. I'm not happy about it, and I feel sorry for some other teams. Hence, I'm saying, if they started all at the same time, knowing that this is the number of teams that are going to qualify, I can tell you right now, these qualifiers could have turned out differently, because you know certain teams or so-called smaller teams could have fancied their chances, knowing that
100%.
we can qualify because the small teams are going to qualify. So yeah, it's another area where you can safely say that CAF didn't cover themselves in glory there.
Yeah, no, because I mean, even if you check the recent qualifiers that were coming from, Cameroon lost to Algeria. You know, you look at Benin. I mean, there's also no. Here, some countries will feel that.
Yeah, they'll feel hard done by.
Yeah, no.
And unfortunately, there's nothing they can do because a decision has been taken.
Exactly, exactly.
And which is where I think you are right. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
It's not good enough.
As we close, so we go to the under-17 tournament. I mean, what a way to start. I've been seeing some results of African teams in this tournament, even though other teams I see they're playing Haiti, Zambia beat Indonesia 4-1 the other day. But
you have to win.
But we had a decent. Okay, there are 48 teams. I guess now this is what we are going to see, because there's New Caledonia even in the Senior World Cup. We saw how we did to them. But we had a tough opposition. We got a red card in the 34th minute. It was good to see our boys starting like that, and they are playing their second game this week.
And that is not even our full strength team.
No.
That's not even a full.
We got there 4 days before.
Yeah, because you know there was chaos. There was no proper preparation. There was nothing. Anywhere you go in a tournament, you have to start well. Confidence. People sit and take notice. If you start as well as these kids have started, you can strike fear into the opponents. It's a bit tricky now that we play against the host in our second match. But you know, I've got confidence that we'll.
I've got confidence. Those boys can test.
Yeah, I don't think that the quality is that high. Even though I think those countries, because of the wealth, they've got the facilities, they've got the coaches and that kind of thing. They can scout properly and assemble the best possible squad. They're at home also, but it will be a good test for both teams.
I was looking at the score line of their game against Italy. I was like, hey, what's happening there? Italy only won 1-0.
Yeah, because those Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and UAE.
Well, Qatar, they've also adopted a lot of players from different countries. Remember, Qatar, they've got the Aspire Academy.
Yes. Yeah. So that academy is there it's been there for a very, very long time.
Yes.
They will get the best out of the best from that academy and other clubs. So you will find that their team will be strong.
Yeah, so they take
It will be a
players
good test for
from outside
markets.
their country.
Yeah.
Let's see how it's going, because I saw Tunisia started well. I mean, they played Fiji. I only know Fiji in rugby, and even in sevens rugby for that matter.
Yeah, not even 15s, sevens.
Yeah, no. And Morocco lost 2-0 to Japan there, and Senegal played a goalless draw against Croatia. So, and then yesterday again, I was noting that Cote d'Ivoire lost 4-1 to Switzerland there. Egypt winning 4-1 against Haiti. Zambia winning against Indonesia. But I guess you play the team put in front of you.
That's in front of you. I mean, we'll be sitting here hammering them if they've lost to Haiti. So you have to do what you have to do, you know. It's very important.
And the boys will be motivated now, knowing that the minister back home has bankrolled them. There's 500,000 waiting for them already.
Yeah, I think the minister must just get the bank details of those boys, send the money directly. We don't want the middleman here. You know.
But the minister is saying at least the CEO sends the confirmation.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they must send the money directly to the players. This one of 5 million, every slip must be there. Before they go for the tournament, they want the hotel, the water, the power rate, everything. We want the slip. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen. Those NEC people will be eating there.
And it's December, it's honorariums. 47 of them.
But yeah, it's important because then, SAFA has got a buffer.
Yes.
In terms of making sure that these guys prepare properly.
Yes.
Our Achilles heel for the longest time has always been poor preparation.
Poor preparation.
And poor preparation, not because the coach has not given them a plan.
Yes.
Preparation because there is no money.
There's no money.
To make sure that those plans become a reality. I mean, when we were with the coach here about 2 weeks ago, he has already given us a plan of what's going to happen.
Exactly.
He told us then when they are reporting for camp.
Exactly.
You know, so things are needed in those camps, you know. You can even get a Swatini for a behind a closed doors training match. You can do those kinds of things. So really, these guys need to plan, and they must use that money purely for preparation, because we need to try and these guys. When you listen to Ronwen and the guys in the team, the camaraderie among the players is very, very strong. Exactly. When you have a team that is that united, anything is possible. These guys,
hopefully no bonus issues.
Well, if there's a problem, they can take maybe 1 year from that 5 and put it there for the bonus, or whatever the case.
This money, is it not going to the players?
He talks about preparation. I don't know preparation.
No, I think the minister mixes up things.
He's mixing up things, eh?
Yeah, he's mixing up things.
Yeah, he must clarify.
Yeah.
But because also there must be
because the FA, once the money gets there, they'll say the money is for preparation.
They are going to pay debts from last year already. And pay salaries. And the team is not preparing. So there must be proper checks and balances. Yeah. We're happy that he has dug deep in this pocket. And we're also happy for the other teams that are getting money, because some of our national teams have done very well on the international stage. I know we usually don't win things. Yes. But I mean, for the cricket ladies to get to finally something, you know. So yeah, it's quite good. It's quite good. It's quite good. We're happy. Our boys went to the World Cup. We've got under 17s now at the World Cup. The Proteas won that thing, the World Championship. The Springboks, you know, they'll never disappoint. They're always there. So I think sporting-wise in the country, there are good vibes.
100%.
But Bafana can take the volume to 100% now. 100%. If they go to AFCON. At the very least, for me, it's the semi-final.
No, that's good. That's good.
And we'll be there.
We'll be there.
There is to come rain or high water. What do they say in isiZulu? We'll be there.
We'll be there. On that note, so we say,
Jambo
Africa.
Asante sana.
Asante.